The year was 1817, and the Bell family lived on a quiet farm in Adams, Tennessee. John Bell, a man of ambition and stubborn will, had no idea that a darkness had already set its eyes upon his family. At first, it was subtle, a scratching on the walls, faint knocking at doors that no one had touched. The air felt heavier, oppressive, as though the unseen was pressing against the very walls of their home. The family dismissed it at first. Whispers called it mice, the wind, the creaking of an old farmhouse. But the disturbances grew. Scratches turned into raps, raps into violent knocks. Objects moved on their own. The ghost, invisible but undeniably present, made it known it was watching, waiting, angry, and it was not satisfied with being ignored. Betsy Bell, young and delicate, was the first to feel its wrath. Invisible hands tugged at her hair, kicked her, pinched her until bruises blossomed like dark flowers on her skin. Pins appeared mysteriously in her body, sticking as though driven by some invisible tormentor. Every corner of the house held a threat. Every shadow could conceal an attacker. John Bell began to notice the patterns, the focus of the ghost. It was personal. This was not a random haunting. It was a vendetta, and the Bell family would learn that some debts, some betrayals, linger far longer than any living man could imagine. It did not take long for the specter to make its presence fully known. The raps and scratches were not enough. It began speaking. A human voice, sharp and cruel, called itself by name. Kate Batts. The ghost made it clear. It was her vengeance that fueled the haunting. A sour business deal, a slight that had never been forgiven, had given birth to this rage that would not rest. The Bell family trembled as the ghost became increasingly violent. It dragged them across rooms, kicked them relentlessly, and lashed out with unseen weapons. But it was Betsy who suffered the most. Day and night, Kate's attacks focused on her. Bruises, pinches, scratches, and pins became a terrifying routine. The house became a battleground, every corner a trap. Neighbors whispered in fear. Word of the Bell which spread like wildfire through the county. No one dared enter a farm without trembling. The ghost had made it clear. She was watching, she was angry, and she would not be ignored. Kate Batts did not limit her vengeance to the Bell household. The spirit traveled across the county, terrorizing neighbors, leaving an invisible trail of fear and destruction. Crops mysteriously failed, livestock fell ill, and strange phenomena plagued anyone who dared speak against her. The entire region learned that this was no ordinary haunting. It was a wrathful, sentient force, capable of cruelty beyond human comprehension. General Andrew Jackson himself was drawn to the Bell farm, curious about the stories that had reached even the halls of government. What he witnessed left him unsettled. The house was alive with an unseen presence, raps and thumps echoing like the heartbeat of some malicious entity. Kate appeared, hovering near John Bell's bedside, whispering threats and curses, taunting him with every breath. It was during this time that John Bell fell gravely ill. The haunting did not relent. Reports say that Kate's form hovered by his bed as he weakened, laughing and cursing, her presence undeniable. When John Bell finally breathed his last, witnesses claimed that the ghost was there at his funeral, mocking, celebrating, asserting dominion over the Bell legacy. Through it all, Betsy Bell endured. Her childhood had been stolen by a force beyond human understanding. Even as she grew, married, and sought to escape, the shadow of Kate Batts lingered. Each step away from the family farm brought no relief. Shadows followed, whispers pursued her, and the terror of her youth haunted every corner of her life. Those who visited the Bell property after the family had moved on reported strange occurrences. Dark apparitions flickered in corners of the house. Sobbing and screams echoed near the Bell cemetery, and the land itself seemed tainted, carrying the malice of the witch for generations. No one could live there in peace. No one could escape her presence. The story became legend, whispered around fires, told to children and adults alike. Kate Batts had transcended death. She was no longer just a spirit. She was a force. And the Bell family's suffering became a warning to all who might cross her path. Kate Batts' influence extended far beyond the physical house. Travelers reported hearing raps and footsteps along roads near Adams, as though she had claimed the entire landscape. Animals refused to approach her territory. The wind carried her voice, whispering threats that could freeze a man in his tracks. Some swore that they saw her hovering near the Bell Cave, her eyes burning with fury and malice, waiting, watching. The Bell, which was more than a ghost. She was cunning. She could speak, mock, manipulate. She knew the secrets of the living. And while General Andrew Jackson and others could witness her antics, no man could truly stop her. She was untouchable, her vendetta eternal, her power growing with each tale told. Every hill, every creek, every shadow near the Bell Farm became tainted with her presence. Locals learned to avoid her. Some left the land entirely. Others tried to confront her, only to be met with slaps, pinches, and raps that would make the bravest men flee in terror. Kate Batts was an intelligence far beyond any mortal enemy. Patient, persistent, and relentless. Today, the Bell Farm stands as a reminder. The original buildings are gone, but the land itself remembers. Tours of the Bell Cave are offered for those brave enough to venture where Kate Batts once thrived. Visitors report chills that have no source, sudden gusts of icy wind, and shadows that flit just beyond sight. Some claim to hear whispers, raps, and laughter that echo from the earth itself. The Bell, which remains a cautionary tale. She is not bound by time, nor by reason. Her presence lingers, a force of vengeance and malice that refuses to fade. And for those who dare enter the land of Adams, Tennessee, beware. You are stepping onto a stage which still rules, where shadows move with intent, and where the voice of Kate Batts may greet you in the night, demanding your fear. The Bell which is eternal, the Bell which remembers, and she is always watching.